Who will VAR be supporting this week?
I don't go into this conspiracy theory stuff about the refs and VAR don't like us and all that. I just think that there's a general level of incompetence that affects all the teams. It's unfortunate.
Hey, I've supported Arsenal long enough to know that, you know, some games can be banana skins. I'm just hoping it's not that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Welcome back to AFTV and welcome back to a nice, warm, sunny Emirates Stadium. We're out here. I don't know why we're out here. This is
freezing.
Yeah, the Christmas.
And guess what? It gets colder tomorrow.
Does it?
Yeah, it's
Thanks for that
actually
news. Thanks for that good news. Then that's an uplift my spirits. It's absolutely
If it could
blitzing
get colder,
to-
it's going to get colder
I'm
tomorrow.
trying to feel for the players. Was there ever a temperature that you just didn't fancy as a player that you went and...
I am a seasonal player. It's on record. I only like to play in the warmth, good conditions, fresh grass. Pre-season is normally my time that I'm at my best. So
That surprises me. I always thought you was a cold Tuesday night in Stoke.
That's never been me ever.
Imagine when do you get your peak? Pre-season, really.
No,
pre-season's when I'm at my best. July in Spain.
100%. Elite test. I liked fitness, and that's when we did it. Normally, fitness when we come back from pre-season, and I was always sharp because the pitches are fresh. Everyone wants to play good football on, you know, the pitches. So that's when I'm at my best. But in this weather, I try and actually duck.
You're everything Arteta would hate, you know.
100%.
He's certainly everything Roy Keane would hate.
Yeah, yeah.
The dancing, the histrionics. Roy Keane, if he was on the same team as Roy Keane, he'd be beating you up every week. Man.
Thinking about it now, Mikel Arteta probably wouldn't. I wouldn't be his sort of player. Really, shame. Oh well. Well.
Anyway,
I'm at the game now. Anyway, so I'm
at the game as well. You're at the game.
I'm at the game.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Obviously, there'll be a watch along on AFTV.
Unfortunately, I'll be in the studio, nice and warm.
Unfortunately or fortunately? That's fortunate.
That's sarcasm.
No, fair enough. Right, let's go into it. I think the big discussion going into this game, the really big thing we need to talk about: who will VAR be supporting this week? They've got to pick a side. Obviously, they don't like either of us, but you know.
Let's just hope that is not the main topic of conversation, please. Let's just have a game.
What do you mean hope? Every week it is.
I know.
Do you know what's funny as well about this fixture is the fact that what was it when we lost 2-1, the David Luiz red card off the clip of the stud on his knee.
The grace,
outrageous. And do you know what I forgot as well? Leno got sent off in that game as well. When he ran out on the pit, he ran out of his box and did the. Yeah. So that was 2 red cards in that. And then the next dubious moment of this fixture, Martinelli, the double yellow card. Sin bin might have been. Nah, I don't see. Would the sin bin have been good to use in that situation? Probably, I don't know. Well anyway.
The sin bin debate's been held on AFTV. Go check out the live that Laurie did with Robbie. Yep. But yeah, maybe. But look, we won't go into that right now. Let us know in the comments though what you do think of all that. Like I said, go check out the video. But I want to have a serious discussion around this thing. It's tongue-in-cheek, the whole who will VAR be supporting. I'm not one.
Wolves.
I don't subscribe to this whole corruption stuff. I think you look at everyone saying, I mean, everyone's saying Man City get all the decisions they want, and then when you actually look at the other day, the foul on Alisson that denies City a goal. So we're all having it.
Listen, look at what happened during the week with Newcastle. I mean, we played Newcastle, the stuff that went on there. A couple of weeks later, they get similarly aggrieved, and that's the way it goes. I'm like you, I don't go into this conspiracy theory stuff about the refs and VAR don't like us and all that. I just think that there's a general level of incompetence that affects all the teams. It's unfortunate. What I would say though is that if you think about it, if you're Gary O'Neill and you've gone through what you've gone through against Fulham, if you talk that up enough, then you're hoping that it's in the back of the referee's mind at the weekend. You never know, will that play out? Because managers are very good at doing it.
I do want to actually have a serious conversation around this. Not about the standard of officiating, PGML, VAR, that's been had a million times. I want to talk about the fact that we can sit here as Arsenal fans feeling aggrieved about certain decisions. Sure, I think of the Kovacic red card, I think of the Kovacic non-red card, the Tomiyasu one that was given, things like that. But Wolves have really had a lot go against them this season. You look at the penalty Newcastle got. I think almost every decision at Fulham went against them. I think Tim Ream
I'm
should
not
have
so
been.
sure, you know. I think that last penalty decision was correct.
The last one is the
think it
more
was.
forgiving,
Yeah, I
but
think that was.
the first one certainly isn't. The Semedo, he gets the ball.
Yeah.
Tim Ream should have been sent off. Vinicius should have been sent off. And they've had loads of these throughout the season. Onana
Remember
comes
the Man
clattering.
United game at the start of the
Yeah,
season?
exactly, that one.
Where Onana just took
Took
one.
him out.
Yeah.
It's a UFC game.
Yeah,
UFC
I mean,
match.
that
Like,
was-
what we really want, all jokes aside, is for this to just be a complete non-factor. And I know
what we
Wolves
really want
fans-
is for it to be a repeat of what happened last season when we beat them 5-0.
Well,
This-
that's-
yeah, well, yeah, but that was obviously the end of the season. This is pushing me more to. I'm not enjoying my watching of football experience of late because of this VAR, this
Oh,
whole
right.
change. I really am. It really is actually just
stop
affecting the
crying,
viewing
Cecil.
experience. No, I'm being dead serious. I just thought, as you lot were talking, I'd love just a week where the Premier League trial. Let's just do it. No VAR.
Oh,
go back to
no.
maybe like not go back to the old days, but just to have a little bit lax on certain things. Just give it 1 week for all games in the Premier League and just see how it is because. Even
for
being-
one weekend.
just to see.
So some
I'd love that.
clearly obvious pen that should have been given isn't. And then at the end of the season, they're going, yeah, well, that happened in the weekend that we didn't have the
Yeah, no, just but it might not.
This
It
is
might
what
just
I
be.
say
It
to
might
you.
just
Are
be
you
a
going to
great week
remember
of
what it
football.
was like before VAR? What were people saying then? We should copy the other sports, rugby, cricket, tennis, where they got technology and it's used to get decisions right.
But it's
I
got
see as
worse.
well.
It's got worse.
No, it
though,
hasn't
because
actually.
they've got the
Like,
technology, but they're getting more things
There's
wrong.
been some
Lauren.
research conducted recently, and they've said that the decisions since the introduction of VAR have improved, albeit it's not by the percentage that we would like, but it's actually a statistical fact
Okay.
that the decisions have improved since VAR was introduced.
I went to the Premier
That's
League
fact.
and had a
VIA.
meeting. I went to a meeting with the Premier League and they spoke about referees how they get 97% of their decisions right on the pitch. They have the highest decisions correct percentage than any other person or player on the pitch in what they do on match day. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, cool, I believe them. But then I watch it and say every week they're making major decisions and getting them wrong. So
That's because
I
a
don't
lot of
wanna
the
hear about
decisions in
stats.
football, let's face it, are subjective. So, for example, we just spoke about that penalty decision against Wolves in the dying minutes of the game against Fulham. To me, that was a penalty. If I'm Gary O'Neill, right, okay, publicly you might have a rip at the VAR, but privately I'm going to my defender and say, what are you doing that for? The guy was going away from goal. There's literally seconds left. Why are you even giving the referee and VAR decision to make there? You know?
All right. Well,
Right.
on a very serious note, just to round off on this topic, is there? And like I said, I do not subscribe to this whole they favour one or the other. But does the subconscious have a they've had a few go against them? I'm not saying there's a conscious decision to tip decisions in favour of Wolves. I'm not saying that because that sounds like I'm making excuses. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just asking the question, and I'll tell you why. Because I do think there have been times like, do you remember the Ivan Toney goal that was scored against us where it was offside, they didn't draw the line,
we should have 3
and then
points.
we got the penalty against City the game after. I thought that was a bit 50-50, and I'm not accusing anyone of what's the word no, but I'm talking consciously favouring or whatever.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm talking,
It goes back to what
is
I
there a
was saying earlier.
subconscious
There is.
the 50-50 might go, but look, we've had ones go against us. I'm just asking
Do they
the question
level
where
them
that
out?
happens in the game.
Do they level out throughout the season as well? Because that's what all
They don't
managers
level
say.
out throughout the season.
Not
But
exact.
it's not
an exact science.
Yeah.
But I think over the course of the season, you're going to get some go for you and some go against you. Like I said, look at Newcastle. A few weeks ago, they were telling Arsenal fans, "I'll get on with it," blah blah blah. Because they were the beneficiary of decisions that went their way. A couple of weeks later against PSG, they're all moaning now, and Arsenal fans are laughing at them, saying, "See what it's like now? What you say now?" So what I would say though on that, like I said, two things that I notice in football. One is that if you're at home, let's face it, you will tend to get decisions in your favour that you
I
might
believe
not
in
have
that
got.
too. Yeah, I think
I
home-
definitely believe
yeah.
that. Secondly, managers are very clever. They play up when decisions go against them, knowing that in the next game there's a very strong chance that if it's a 50-50, the referee might think, oh, well, got to look at this one a little bit different because of all the pressure that's been put on them. Fergie was famous for that, putting pressure on referees. And all managers do it, by the way.
I do think Gary O'Neill's been a class act though in what he said
Yeah.
post Fulham. I thought he aired his complaints, I think, in a way that was received well and people understood where he was coming from. But likewise, Arteta went about it a slightly different way against Newcastle. Yeah. But I stand by a lot of what he said in that. So both managers feeling aggrieved about it. But there is a game of football. We hope VAR isn't the talking point. Let me just give you some of Wolves' results this season and performances. They did lose at Old Trafford 1-0. Never deserved to lose that game when, again, VAR had a part to play there. They lost 3-1 against Liverpool. Now, if you saw the scoreline, you'd go, cool, Liverpool did their thing. Wolves were very, very good in that game, especially the first half. They low-key blew Liverpool away a little bit, but just never got that second or third to really cement the points. They've beaten City 2-1 at Molineux.
Arguably the result of the season.
Yeah, they've beaten Tottenham 2-1. They drew 1-1 with Villa at Molineux, and there was another team, I can't quite remember
Fulham,
that. They lost 3-2 at Fulham. There was another result. They had Newcastle 2-2. Right. They drew Newcastle. So, look, Wolves against, let's call it the higher performing teams in the league, they have something about them, an intensity, a style of play that seems to stifle these teams and give them a lot of questions. And I think this is going to be a tough game here at the Emirates.
I must admit, we spoke about him earlier, but I do think that Gary O'Neill is a good young manager.
Yeah, I agree.
Bournemouth fans must be thinking, why did we get rid of him so quickly? Was that hasty? But nevertheless, he's moved on to Wolves, and I think he's done a good job. What are they, 12th in the table?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that, 12, 13th.
Yeah. But they do play decent football. They do play decent football. They've got some good players. And on their day, if they get it right, they are a force to be reckoned with. So I'm certainly not looking beyond them. I think this will be a good game.
Yeah.
I say we're not looking beyond them, definitely not, because it's a big game. It's Arsenal, in the run up to Christmas. We need to keep, our form going. In December, we have the highest win percentage. 50% of games over 50%. Sorry, we win in December. And with Wolves, right, they're definitely a formidable side.
Formidable.
Oh, is that the right? That's the right word, right?
Well, no, yeah, formidable.
You didn't seem sure when you used that word.
No, but formidable's quite strong, no?
I wouldn't call them formidable. I would say that on their day they are a good side.
I feel like formidable is quite
perhaps
high praise.
a bit over egging.
I know. If we could,
all right, well,
we've got Turkish with us. We could get a definition of formidable. If you just Google it while you carry on.
Anyway, so just carrying on to my train of thought that I was running through. Funny enough, obviously Arsenal, we are currently 6 clean sheets in the league, got the best defensive record with 10 goals conceded. But Wolves are on a run of, I believe, scoring in their last, I think it's 12 games, so consistently, and they're on quite a big run on that. So I think there will be goals. I think they will concede here on the weekend. But we also, I've just lost my train of thought. Well,
look, they score goals, but they concede them. 3 at Fulham, 2 penalties that I think were harsh. They lost 2-1 at Sheffield United, again a penalty. That's another one.
Yep.
That is kind of like, but they lost there. So on the road, they're not quite doing it like they are, when they are at home and at Molineux. But they are a good side. Have we got a fact check on the word?
On formidable?
Formidable, here we go.
So, formidable. Inspiring fear or respect through being impressively large, powerful, intense, or capable. Cecil.
Now, I wouldn't.
Thank you very much for that.
I wouldn't say that Wolves.
Okay, do you know what? That sounds like more like us. I
think
that's more like us. We're more the formidable side. But the Formidables, not the Invincibles, are now becoming the Formidables.
20 years on from the Invincibles. There you go.
But and in this, we've scored in 31 times playing this Wolves teams. Not this Wolves team exactly, but playing Wolves. We scored 31 times, so we always score against this team. I think it's 1979 since the last time we didn't score against them. So it's been a long time. I think we're going to score.
Well, we hit 5 against them a few months back.
Again, that was when that was the end of the season.
That was an anomaly.
I've always said it. Arsenal, final game of the season, nothing to play for, are the greatest team of all time.
That's very true. I remember we played Brighton here when we came and watched the game here. It was the end of the season as well, and we were unbelievable.
Whoever we play, final day of the season, we slap them. Or the year before that, Everton. We bottled the Champions League run-in. Everton 5-1. Thanks very much. Final day of the season, right. Arsenal.
The Wolves players, let's face it, they had their deck cheers out when they played.
Yeah, probably. Let's go through the Wolves players. Sorry to cut you.
I was going to go into that and say they got a few injuries and suspensions as well.
So is it Gomez and Lamina are missing? Obviously, Arsenal on the injury front are missing Partey, Timber, Vieira, and Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
But they're missing 2 key players there.
Pedro Neto, is he going to be available?
Really good player.
He's quality, and he could be not the difference makers. I think we win this game, but
I hate to do this on camera, but you need to.
I don't do well in the cold in football and clearly in previews.
Why don't you get some gloves?
Yeah,
Look how wrapped up
Give
I
him a
am.
couple of tissues, mate.
All right, let's. Other standout Wolves players. Mateus Cunha's in a decent run of form.
Wang?
Yeah,
Is it
Wang?
Wang?
Yeah.
Impressive. Good goal scorer. I think
Yeah.
he's got 7 Premier League
They got-
goals
they
this
got
season.
good-
Always has goal involvements as well for them. Definitely
Yeah.
a player to be.
He's
to
actually
be
got
fearful
more
of.
Premier League goals than anyone in our side.
Is he?
Has
Yeah.
he?
I think
In the
Eddie's
league?
our top Premier League goal scorer with 5.
I quite like the defenders. I like Max Kilman. I like Dawson as well at the back. He does a job on centre back. Sometimes did a good job on Haaland. But I just wonder, like with Wolves, they are actually a team that will take the game to you. They will try and press and play and run through the heart of midfield and make things happen. The only thing is, when they did that, for example, at Old Trafford, Mateus Nunes was still there. Gomez and Lamina weren't suspended. So that's the one thing. Are they going to have the midfield to do that? But we will see.
There's very few teams, let's be honest, that are going to come to the Emirates and try and take us on in that way. So even though they are quite an aggressive team that tried to win the ball high up the pitch, I think they will temper that tomorrow. I don't think they'll go gung-ho. They will know that Arsenal at home is a pretty formidable task. So I would expect them to vary their tactics accordingly. But I do expect them to be organised. I do expect them to show some ambition. And I'm expecting a good game.
Okay, let's get some predictions in.
Okay, the Formidables, 3. That's Arsenal. And the Wolves, I'd say 1. I think they'll score. I really do. I think they can. You have a little giggle there. I think they'll cause us some problems. But again, like I said, it's the Emirates. We're still unbeaten here at our home stadium, and I just think we just got to get the job done. We've got to be at a stage where we're not worried about teams like Wolves. That's why I want to get to. Of course, every team in the Premier League can cause
I would say,
everyone problems, but
do
I
you know
wanna
anyone
be,
that's worried?
This
You
could
have
be
to
a
treat them
simple.
with
This could,
respect.
yeah, exactly.
But that's just every Premier League game.
Yeah. But I just want to be able to get. I think we
I
should be
don't
able to
think
get
you
the job
don't
done.
disrespect to Wolves, but I don't think you put them in the worried category.
That's very important.
There is. Big up Frimpong in the house.
You know,
I wouldn't put them in
yeah.
the worried category. What I would say though is they are a decent side, and on their day they can cause plenty of problems. So we will have to be diligent, be respectful, but ultimately we're at home. We're top, they're 12th, and that's for a reason.
Yeah,
We are a better side than them.
I want
We
to go
should
into
be-
Christmas still being comfy or just at the top of the Premier League. So this is a game that I think we should just get to, win it, move on. I want it to be standard procedure, especially off the back of what we saw in the Champions League. I know it's not going to be the
A
same.
minute ago you
because we're
said
so-
you're worried. Now you say it's standard procedure.
call them
No,
formidable.
I want it to be
they're a
standard
good team.
procedure.
Don't get
I
me
want it
wrong.
to be standard procedure. Hey, I've supported Arsenal long enough to know that some games can be banana skins. I'm just hoping it's not that.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
that's
fair
all.
enough, yeah.
All right, I'm going 1-0. I think they'll make a hard work, the low block, Kilman and Dawson winning headers for days, but I think we will find a way for a goal. And I've got to put trust in this defence. 2 clean sheets in the run up to this with the Brentford 1-0 win, the 6-0 win against Lons. Good that we found some rhythm. And yeah, things are slowly clicking into gear for Arsenal, but I think a good beating Sheffield United here 5-0, great. Being Burnley here 3-1, great. Somewhat expected, even with the lack of fluidity. I'd like to see something that suggests Arsenal are really starting to click now. But then that's all in kind of... It's like we're clicking defensively, so what does that really mean? But look, let us know in the comment section below what you're expecting from the Arsenal. Get what?
You just left him freezing.
I thought you gave one.
No, I didn't.
Out on the, in
But,
the cold.
listen, as you probably gathered from my comments, I am going to predict an Arsenal win. I'm looking at maybe 3-1. I think there could be goals in this
So you
game.
both went 3-1.
Three,
Yeah,
three
I'm
or
looking
two.
at
Three
3-1.
or two. But if
I
Laurie
do,
goes
I
three,
do
I'll say
think that
2.
Wolves do offer some
Be
threat.
different.
And I did mention Wang, he's in a good run of form. So it wouldn't surprise me if they got a goal. I'd rather they didn't, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did.
I think we can
But I
see.
fully expect us to get at least a couple.
Yeah.
So I'm going 3-1. But
Okay.
I think
Just
it'll be a good game, though. I think it'll be a good game.
before you round up, I do want to mention as well, because a lot of people messaging me from the Matchday Live that we did on the weekend. In the week, asking where I got the jumper from. This is our merch. It's lovely, Christmas merch. Listen, I
Gold
was
trophy. Yeah.
I was wearing this in November because I like to celebrate things early. Yes, you probably know that already. Quickly, what I've noticed as well, it says Nick. Now, I think that's quite smart. Sorry, I'm giving a full detail of the jumper here, but quite smart because obviously he sent Nick and all of that. So I think that was Big up the AFTV team and the designers on it. I like this one.
Yeah, it is nice.
You can get it on our merch catalogue.
Check out
this.
the AFTV swag.
Go check it out.
I don't know if that sold it at all. but-
Download the AFTV Plus app. You can find the merch there too. All right, everyone. That's been the preview. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Arsenal versus Wolves. Which way VAR is going to go with this one? Let us know.
Absolute mess.
Man's nose is running on camera.
Absolute. Bro, I felt that as soon as you said it.
I wasn't gonna say it at first, but then it started to drip.
I didn't want to embarrass him.